welcome to the channel. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Today I'm talking about a stock that actually rose 31% to almost 33% today. And we're going to find out why that stock went so high. And is there an opportunity for anybody to get into this position and be able to make money? The stock made a high that it's never been that high before. This is the first high created at $29. And I'm going to talk about all the support and resistance I have here for the stock, and we're going to talk about different indicators that I use for the charting. Before I get into the chart of it, I want to cover the company, what the company is about. The stock we're covering is HPK Energy. So HPK is the ticker for this, and I'm going to look at their balance sheet, their income statement, how much the institutional banks are holding for the stock, and what was the short interest on the stock. Before I get into the full technicals, if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing, as I make video every day. The objective here is to find good stocks that we can invest in and be able to make money. So the company is HPK Energy, and what they say here is HPK Energy is an independent oil and natural gas company focused on the development of unconventional oil and natural gas reserve in primarily Howard County. So now with all these energy stocks right now actually having an uptrend is because of the fact that you already know the oil prices and everything, and you know, with a lot of sanctions on Russia, we need to produce a lot of oil, and I think this is where people are investing money in there, so they can actually, they know they're going to get contracts from government, etc., and they'll be able to sell at a higher price. So, you know, people want to make that money. So as far as the catalyst that broke the stock to go that high, 33%, that was nothing. There was nothing special about the stock. It's just Jim Crammer from CNBC. I don't know if you know, there's a show that he does, Mad Monday, where he talks about different stocks, and he mentioned that stock, and because of that, investors are just clinging on anything they find. You know, anybody who has some understanding on the stock market, they just cling on it and invest in it. So there's nothing special about the catalyst. He's just Jim talk about it, and they just went ahead. A lot of investors invested in that stock, and I'll tell you, the volume that was traded today is insane. On an average, that volume they trade about 94,000. Today there was 5.7 million shares were traded for this stock. Okay, insane. Here it says 31%, but on Weibo it says 33%. Anyway, so the market cap of the company is 2.79 billion. EPS is 0.54. Seems like a profitable company. P ratio is about 53.59, which is on a higher side. Anything, you know, above 30, it seems, you know, on a higher side. So institutional banks hold about 7.7% of the ownership in this company. They have increased, 26 of the banks, institutional banks have increased their position by 1.3 million. 11 of them sold out of the position, 419,000. And very recent positions that were increased were 12 of these institutional firms have increased their position by 1.1 million. You could say I'll round it up to 1.1 million. And 4 of them sold out 134,000. So they're buying more, they're selling less. But there's a red flag that I'm going to talk about in a minute. The two analysts from these two different firms talk about it, and they just simply said is the average price should be $22. They don't really give an indicator. They just say it's a strong buy. I wouldn't just go off of that, because these analysts, they have, you know, there's always some fishy going on with these analysts. Sometimes they would refer a stock that potentially don't have any good balance sheet or some good cash flow. So I'm not sure how they're determining a stock to be strong buy. But anyway, that's what their recommendation is. Let's go to the balance sheet. This is by 1,000. So if you see 818,000, you got to times that by 1,000. So it becomes 818 million. That's their total asset. Total liabilities, 265 million. And the stockholders' equity is 553 million. As far as the you know, balance sheet is concerned, it looks okay. It is pretty okay. It's not bad. Operating cash flow, they have 147 million, which means whatever operations they do on a daily basis is making the money. So they're not losing out money on their operations. Okay, it's not like they're paying out to their employees, but you know, they don't have the money to pay the employees. This means a lot. Cash flow statement means a lot, because then you can understand how they're going to liquidate everything. So they are making money from the investing, which is their expenses, 250 million negative. Of course, you got to minus out the expenses. And the financing cash flow, which they raised from stocks, is 118 million. and their end cash position is 34 million. So cash flow statement also looks okay. It's not terrible as if you were to see some stocks that are. Now, this is a concern I have with the short interest. Okay, short interest is 35%. Look, GameStop, AMC, I think their short interest is like 23%. I think there's a lot of synthetic shares that were sold out for GameStop and I believe AMC as well. This is 35. Anything above 20 is greatly considered very risky. So this is a red flag I have. Is 35% shorting, which means that genuinely people are buying. Like, how short works is, I'm sure a lot of you folks already know this, but the short actually, how it works is that when the stock price started to rise, there's a lot of firms that will sell the stock, but they actually hasn't bought the stock. They borrow the stock from the broker, they sell it in the market, and then the price drops after a day or two, and they will buy it back from the market at a lower price, and then they will cover their shorts. Let's say if you have a lot of folks not selling out the stock and they're just going to hold on to it. For example, in GameStop or AMC, for example, a lot of folks are not selling out the stock. So people who shorted it, they would have to buy it at the market price, keeping the price of the stock at a stable price. So let's say they have 3 days to cover their shorts, and let's say if people don't sell out their position tomorrow and day after tomorrow, you probably would see the stock bump up. So this is something to keep in notice. That's why I want to add the stock to the watch list and see how this goes, because I'm sure that this rise that happened at 31%, that Webull was saying now, it was saying 33% earlier, as when I started this video, where I had the news from the Webull, it says 33%. Anyway, so it's 31 to 33%. Now, you got to keep this on your watch list, because you could play along how the short is going on, and you could potentially make money here. So as far as the support and resistance are concerned on this, and the EMA that I have, exponential moving average I have, there's an outlier right here, right? This news that broke out. This created an outlier. This is not part of the trend. You see pre-market, it just boosted and it just went all the way up right here, right? Now, there is a resistance here. Let's say if the stock doesn't make it and it starts falling back down, there's a small support right here, and I don't think it's strong enough to hold it. So I think it might go down to even 21, or back to like this level right here, $21 or so. But there's a hard resistance right here, which was established from a few weeks ago, $18.98. If it falls below that, potentially it could go to $13, and if it falls even further than that, it's going to go to $8, right? But you see right here, like this $8 is not long ago. It's like December time frame. I'm on a daily chart, by the way. I'm not doing a 30-minute chart, because I want to be able to understand the stock, because the stock only started trading in 2020, not a stock that started trading a long time ago. So very fairly new stock. So anyway, so there's hard resistance right here in my there's hard supports right here. You have $19, $13, and $8, and I'm gonna see what happens to the stock tomorrow. I would want you guys to add it to your watch list if you're looking to invest in this company, because I could potentially see that EMA is telling me the stock is gonna go up. On a daily on a daily chart is telling me that it's sort of sliding up a little bit, but the RSI is saying that it's already hit above 70. What happens is, when usually, I'll give you an example right here. You see how the RSI went above 70, and after that it does not, when a stock hits that 70, right, usually from experience and what different charting analysis I've done so far, what I've realized that when it hits 70, right, it doesn't sustain that for a long time. It eventually will come down. When it comes down, it's going to hit rock bottom, right? So it's already above 70. I think it's around 73.34, and this is, to me, is a weakness now, right? So at this point, even if it goes higher, it would probably just go a little higher and then it start dropping again. And your MACD is also moving average conversion or diversion. It's also going to start moving down as well. So look, but the good news is that you have a lot of stocks that were bought today, so potentially you can probably see this number again, like $29, $28. So if you add it to your watch list and you play it right, you can actually have a play here. But again, this resistance right here, was never created before. If I go to weekly chart for a minute, as you see, $29 is the only resistance at this point. It's very lonely right here. There's nothing here, to be honest with you, right? So now, to getting to this point again, I think it's going to be a while. I don't think it's going to happen tomorrow. I don't think it's going to cross $29. What I'm looking at This right here, it's already above 70. I think it's gonna decline a little bit tomorrow and maybe go back to this small resistance support that we have at $23, and then start fluctuating between 23 and 24. And you know, there's a lot of shorting happen as well, so that needs to be covered. It needs to be covered as well. And if people don't start selling, and maybe potentially you could see another hike. But good stock, good company. I think they have a good balance sheet, good cash flow. I would definitely add it to my watch list and see what happens to the stock tomorrow. And if you see if the stock, look, if it does go up, there's no resistance, right? If it goes up, it goes to the point where it's infinite. Like, you don't know. There's nothing here that I could tell you that, okay, it's going to go to this level and that level. There's nothing. This is the top level it could get to, $29. If it goes up and beyond that, nobody could predict future. But if it goes down, you already see the 3 lines I have, 19, 13, and 8. So, and there's a small support right here on that 20 some dollars right here, 23, 23. So please add it to your watch list. Again, not a financial advice, but watch this stock. And if it comes down, potentially, if it comes down to, let's say, $19, you could potentially make that. You can have a little play right here. Or if it comes down to $13, you have a little play right here. So good company, by the way. But that's the point I was trying to make. But there's a short interest, really high, really risky. So be careful with this stock. But that's my video for today. If you like what you see, and please do consider subscribing to the channel. I release video every day, and the objective here is to get you guys all the information we can, not just the chart, but to sort of understand on the balance sheet and the cash flow as well. So hope you like this video. Please do subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.